Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to look at the Hive2 editor, and I'm going to show you how to run the demo which you can then play around with. So to run the demo for Hive2 you need to first download the Hive system, and it's just a Python library. Now I would recommend downloading this via Git from my GitHub rather than downloading it as a zip file, because it'll make it easier for me to push changes that you can then access later on without having to download your zip file and make sure you do all the deletion correctly. If you've never used Git before, there's plenty of tutorials online, and I use Windows, so I'm using a Git client called TortoiseGit. And a very, very quick overview of Git. All it does is it's a tool which enables you to, in a way that means no one is the actual server, share code around and edit it very easily without having to recopy all the files over, and it also enables lots of people to work on the files at the same time. That's all it is, and it's actually typically bundled in the form of a bash or a console window, but TortoiseGit gives you a GUI that you can use from the Windows Explorer right-click menu, so it's very easy to use. Once you've downloaded this, either using Git or by downloading the zip file, you'll want to unpack it somewhere, and for now at least, run all of your code outside of the inside of a folder, for example in this particular folder here. So this is my Hive2 folder, and I'm going to run stuff within this folder. So if you're on Windows, you can double click run qtgui.cmd, and that will actually, you need to have Python installed obviously, that will run the qtgui. In order to actually do this, you need to also make sure you've installed a library called pyqt4. So that's what the only dependency that this has is pyqt4. So you need to be relatively confident with Python. You simply need to use the pip utility, which I'll show you here. Pip install pyqt4, and you'll see that mine will fail because I've already got it installed, so that's fine. But if you don't, then you need to behave as necessary. You'll need to have Python 3, and I think there's a particular version. I'm using Python 3.5, but I think it should support Python 3.4. So download that if you don't have that. And I'm using the 64-bit version, but it should be fine as long as you download the appropriate version for your operating system. You can use 32-bit or 64-bit on a 64-bit platform. So when you've downloaded this, you can run the qtgui as I've done here, and you'll see that when it's all launched, you get this window. Now, in order to edit the demo and open the demo, you can actually open it as a project rather than opening each individual file. So if you go to File, Open Project, and then navigate to the test directory and click on bge.project and click Choose, you'll then see that the Hives window on the left is updated. Now the BGE demo itself is called some BGE demo, so if you right click on that and click Edit Hive Map, you'll get this Hive map you can then see. Any of the nodes within this which are editable by you, you can right click them and click Edit Hive Map. If you want to know what's editable by you before you click on it, if you look at the import path, if it doesn't start with the word dragonfly, it's probably a Hive map that's been bundled with this project. So for example, this compose node is in the Dragonfly library, and so you can't right click it because it's actually developed in code, not in the GUI. In future I might add support to preview the code that runs it though. So anyway, you can edit the in-place edit node, and you can see that that's a little bit complicated. You can edit the get to current object node, and that gives you a very simple Hive map. And you can also edit the motion node, which gives you a motion actuator. So when you edit stuff, you'll see that you get an asterisk at the top, which means you need to save it, the file. And then you can go to File, Save, or hit Control S. Now in terms of actually running the demo, if you go to the same folder that we opened this from, Test BGE Project, and double click on some BGE demo, you'll get this file. It's really, really simple. If you hit P, you have a bit of a startup time because it's doing some stuff with the import mechanism, and then you can basically move around. That's all it does. It's a cube that can be done using WSAD. So to actually describe how this is working, I'm going to give a very, very quick overview.